Nice. Yeah, I was born and raised here, and I'm still here in Jacksonville, so
That's pretty cool. I was actually there in Jacksonville with my fiance not too long ago. We actually went to the Andrew Schultz comedy show.
Oh, true. I think I remember that. I didn't go though.
Dude, it was like shit. It was like last month, like December, some shit. Bruh.
True.
I was dying.
Oh, for real?
Duh, I'm a big fan of Andrew Schultz because I listen to his podcast all the time, but it's just like it's a difference when you've seen him on live. Like that shit is wild, bro.
Damn, dude, I need to go to more like comedy shit because I only watch them on Netflix, but like I never go to them.
Dude, straight up, if he ever comes back again to Florida, man, I'll hit you up and say, yo, you gotta go here. It's near your place, man. Yo, okay. Oh my God, that shit is hilarious. Like I tell everybody, it's like, yo, worth every penny for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely, for man. Sure. Well, we're gonna get this shit started, man. So first things first, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I pretty much worked out, did some schoolwork, and then tried to work on some music, but you know, I have a little writer's block right now, so.
Oh shit! You know that I was gonna ask you about that later during our interview, but I guess it might as well just talk about it right now about writer's block.
Yeah, for sure.
How long have you been having this writer's block?
So probably about like 2 weeks now. And like honestly, I've been kind of like putting I kind of put a lot of pressure on myself to try to, I guess, work on something every day. And I know like I really shouldn't do that because, you know, you have to let things like marinate and you can't work on an idea until like it comes to you. You can't like make something out of nothing. So that's what I've been struggling with. But like I have a show on Wednesday. So I was trying to like, I'm trying to like use some days to practice DJing, like put a set together, put some songs in the set. And then I just haven't done anything in about 2 weeks. So I tried to open some now, but
damn.
I just got the piano thing down and I was like,
oh, that last minute shit, man. That last minute.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
So I was gonna ask you, like, you believe the whole concept of writer's block, but that question just answered itself. Now, what do you do when you're in that situation? You know.
So honestly, I try to. One thing I do actually is a lot of times I'll go and I'll like do something like working out, or I'll go on a run or something, and I'll just listen to a bunch of music because like. My mind races like this constantly.
Oh shit.
And so yeah, like with like ideas and stuff, like I'll have one idea, and then like 10 minutes later, like I'll have this completely other idea, and it just goes like this. So I get a lot of them from like going out and like working out and listening to like I listen to a lot of rap music.
Okay.
So I'll go and listen to some of my favorite artists, and then sometimes like ideas will just come to me like that. But, you know, on days where, like, it doesn't, you kind of just have to maybe put your energy elsewhere. And if you want to do something creative, like, I have, like, other outlets, too. So sometimes I'm like, oh, why don't I paint today instead of, like, sitting here on my Ableton trying to bust out a track.
Okay.
When like nothing's coming to me and stuff.
Well, I have to say that you already more or less grasp the concept of writer's block and know how to deal with it. You know, not many locals or up and comings like yourself, when they ever come to that situation, that most of the time they're just like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm here months doing nothing, you know? But kudos with you. The fact that you're actually already taking steps, because most of the time I would just say that exact same thing. Like I will tell you, yo, just step out for a moment and just go out or do something. If you have some hobbies, just do some hobbies. Go have a bike ride or paint in your case, you know, or
Yeah, for sure.
Or spend time with family or friends or whoever, just for a bit, just to get your mind out of it until, that inspiration kicks in. And then once you have it, it's just full throttle all the way.
Exactly. Like, you can't get an idea out of like nothing if you have nothing, and like, some days I have nothing and I got to put my energy elsewhere. If I want to do something.
No, and that's okay, man. And that happens to everybody. There's certain people that actually don't have that and they just like literally go through. I learned some of those techniques for those guys. For example, my boy Needy. I have to stop calling his name now in my show because everybody's gonna believe I'm a fucking simp of his. But it's like, dude, like if I tell him, it's like, dude, like, everybody's gonna make fun of me because I'm your simp. And he's like, ha ha ha. It's like, no, bro, because you're the only perfect example I have to give to the show for people to actually believe my shit. Like, I gotta give some credentials. It's like, well, you're the best one,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, dude, like, I see this guy and he works like a fucking Terminator. He's a fucking robot when it comes to making music. I've never seen him on a writer's block. And if I do seen him on a bad day, he's actually doing something completely different, One of the things that you actually did mention is like, let's say like today is like, oh, today's not the day I'm feeling on making dubstep, for example. Let me make something different. Let me make another different genre I never fuck with. Get my curiosity, because when that curiosity kicks in, that dopamine, adrenaline just starts to rough off your body and just like, oh shit, like you go like, oh, wait a minute. Let me kick it. Oh, this shit is fun. Oh, okay. Let me work it out. And once you work it with that shit out, all of a sudden you got a song out of nowhere for a different genre that you hardly even play. You're like, okay, we can work something out of it. And that shit just like is like, oh, okay. Let me take some of these ideas and put it on a dubstep song, and just like, it's like, holy shit, I got something,
For sure.
Another one is this has been told by many big time producers to me, and I never found it very, I don't know, maybe for them it works, for me it doesn't. Rearranging your sample packs, because like everybody has their own sample packs, right? So when you have a sample pack, you just automatically download it and you put it on a folder. And sometimes you have it like disorganized and you can't find the right sample pack that you wanted. Have all those sample packs like organized, like in folders and by letters, by names, by scales, Doing something completely different than what you normally would do actually revs up your motors and start doing stuff. And the other one is the sound designing. Believe it or not, it's true that you say that, if you got no inspiration, you can't do shit. You got nothing else to do. But I will push back on what you say, like that you can actually make something out of nothing. Even if you're not inspired, you can definitely make something. It's just doodling at that point. When you're doodling, you're not even thinking like you're actually making something. You're just fucking shit up. So let's say if you open up a serum patch and start fucking shit up, just add basic shapes and tune it in and have them all, organize and do creative shit, like even that simple shit, and then add resample into the mix by, having whatever you made and then just resample it like 5-7 times and adding different layers and different sound effects and other shit. Believe it or not, you'll start to create something new out of it, and then it gets you highly motivated to like, fuck, I want to finish this shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And then boom, you got yourself a new drop, all just because you were just doodling out of no goddamn reason,
For sure, you're 100% right. You're 100% right.
Yeah, no, I just try, to see everyone's perspective into all this, see what everybody sees this, because like obviously not everybody's gonna have the right answers, but at least I will try to guide them as much as I can, to help out. You are already like, you already know what you're doing, so I hardly have to say anything. So kudos to you, man.
Thank you. One thing I'll mention too is another thing I do is, you talked about how like switching genres and stuff. So I do rap music, and I do it. I love it as much as like producing is like rapping and stuff. So
I was
a
gonna
lot of
actually
times,
ask you about that, honestly, because I noticed it on your profile that you were into bass music, but then I saw that you were an MC and to rap, and I was like, huh, interesting.
yeah.
Okay, I want to hear more about that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So like touching on the writer's block, that's something I'll do. I'll like switch off back and forth.
Mm,
With my rap music, typically is like I do know how to like produce rap beats, like I've done it before and stuff.
okay.
But a lot of times I'll use like some of my friends or stuff or something like producers send me just because like they got they got those like 808s and like
Yeah,
bass hit in a
yeah.
certain way. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that yet. But
Okay.
like it's like easier for me too because I can like flow off their creativity with their production. And I can it's like a little more fun with me because I'm not doing like 100% of the work.
Mm.
So yeah, there's days where I'll just honestly like get really high and then I'll go and I'll like go and I always like to like go on runs or like when it's cold out like it is right now in Florida, like
Right.
go into the trails and like a lot of times I'll just listen to the beat like over and over and over again and then I'll just write like my mind will just like go off and I'll like
Yo.
yeah and sometimes I like freestyle too and sometimes it'll just be like line after line after line it'll just be like banging so I'll be like oh shit and I'll have a chance to like write it all down and stuff so I've like hundreds and hundreds of notes of lyrics and stuff.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
God damn.
It's fun though because it I do that because it comes in handy
Mm.
when I'm with like my old roommate Kevin Scher. He's like a really good producer or Devour. We've been like all three making songs together.
Okay.
And pretty much they'll have something and I'll just pull out my phone and I'll be like, all right, this lyric.
Just spit,
and then we'll
spit
like
bars
make
and
an
then
entire
just
song off of it.
God damn. You might actually have the gift at that point, you know? Producer and MC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we could be looking at the next virus syndicate right here.
I mean, hey, that's what's up. Yeah, dude, it's fun. I actually just got into like production. When was it? Like about like 2 or 3 years ago, I think. I think it was 2019 December. So I guess I was like, I don't even know. I don't even know what year it
Oh,
is.
so you got into production just recently, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I've been like into rap music like forever. Like
Okay.
I've always been like songwriting rap lyrics and stuff, but I didn't really take anything serious. Where I'm like took that initial step in my life till about like I would say a year ago. December 10th, 2020 was my first show ever as a DJ. And then after that, I started taking production and music in general really serious.
Okay. Damn. So you actually have a little career right there happening right now, you know?
Yes, I am starting, you know, like I'm still in school, so it's kind of like I'm like balancing both. But I low key really hope that like something startups for me before I like graduate. I have about like 2 semesters left.
Oh, that's what's up. Hey, one of the best advices I can give to someone when it's on this path that you're taking, that you're in school and but at the same time you feel like you want to pursue this very often, right?
Yeah.
Keep it as your hobby for now, you know. I'm not saying don't stop. I'm not saying to shift your careers. I'm not saying like focus on school. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying keep it as a hobby. As of like, okay, I got this. I'm gonna keep doing it whenever it's my free time. I'm gonna do what I love to do. That's passion right there. Okay, don't ever let that ever go. But at the same time, sometimes we have to be a little bit responsible of our lives and have to be a little bit real and realistic.
Yeah.
And, you know, we got to do our thing and, you know, finish school and get a decent job, you know, something, you know, in the meantime that I know I can pay my bills, but at the same time, I got the liberty to do what I want to do. And once you have that balance, that perfect balance, that's quote unquote, we like to call it, because it's most of the time it's not a perfect balance and it's hard to find it. But when you do have it, that at least that good balance, and you're starting to see the signs in which your music career is about to be taking off and go all at it, that's when you quit your job and go full throttle with your music.
For sure.
And this is a good God. This is an advice that I give to you, and I'll give to everybody else who's listening as well, who's in school. So you guys ever wonder? Let me tell you guys, the struggling artist routine in which you basically quit your job and quit school altogether and just like go full throttle, it is not a happy time. I know, I've known a bunch of homies of mine who has gone through that route. And I know a bunch of other artists who have done it. They successfully did it, but they said it themselves as like, those are like the worst years. I even interview people here in the show and they tell me those type of stories. Like even a Grammy award-winning audio engineer who came in here, Frank Sakuro, who happens to be one of my former professors, shout out to him. He said it himself that he was by chance living at his parents' friend's home in Miami while he's intern, not getting paid, intern to a studio for God knows why, and he barely gets pennies. And all the money that he gets, he only eats once a day, barely. He even sleeps in the couch.
I can't do that.
No, I'm telling you, I could have never done that route either. I'm too bougie for that shit.
Yeah, for real. I want to go out.
Yeah, no, I want to go out. I want to have a life. I don't want to spend time with people, But
yeah, for sure.
But it was like that dedication is like, yeah, like I get it. Like you can actually go that route. And if it works, it works. But in today's world, there's too many resources out there that you don't necessarily have to go. And you can just like, have that as like, not your back end, but as your side hustle. And once that side hustle takes off, then it's like, oh, perfect. I can see it. Deuces, everybody. I'm out. Let's go. Let's take over the world.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
So I want to hear your perspective of what I just said about that. Like, do you actually believe like you should actually focus more on your career as a rapper, as a music producer, more and get that struggling artist routine, or you rather play the safe game for a bit and then see where it takes you?
So, basically, I think that I feel like something that you want and you feel like it's coming. Obviously, like you have the passion and everything, like keep going and like keep pursuing that. But you also have to take time for yourself. Because yourself is like one of the most important things that only you can work on. And like, if you're not happy with yourself as a person and you're not putting attention on yourself, like you can end up unhealthy, you can end up depressed. You really have to take the time for yourself as much as your passion. But I will say that for me personally, I like will put music over everything. And that like, sometimes I tell some friends I'm supposed to hang out with that night. I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna come over because I'm in my zone right now. I'm on that high that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm probably not gonna leave this desk till 2 a.m. Like I don't want to stop because it feels more good to me than like I hanging out with those friends, like, and not to say that like I don't love my friends and everything, but like that high that you get from music is just so, I don't know, nothing else can like get me that. So yeah, take time for yourself. Absolutely, you have to like take care of yourself, your mental health, so you can be ready if anything comes at you, or let's say your time is in like a year from now. You don't want to be like in a position where you're unhappy, even though you have it.
Right.
Because you didn't take that time for yourself. And I'm all about the mindset of like work. But like I said, I've been trying to like meditate more and just be like, okay, like maybe like I don't have to like force myself to like work every single day. Maybe like today I can just like take this time and like do this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, dude, like you do gotta put in that work.
Oh, absolutely. Like that goes without saying. Like you definitely have to go put in the work, but put in the work within reason, within, you know, without you getting yourself burned out. Because I actually got myself burned out. Well, can I say that I did burn out before I started my career? It was more of a. It was like I was trying to get out of a deep depression that was in my life. Because I was living in a shitty house, at a shitty apartment. I was working at a shitty job as well, and
that would kill me, bro. Like a shitty job,
shitty place, you know. And obviously, like you work on the weekends. That's your shift, 12-hour shifts. So it's like from 5 to 5, and so it's like, when can I DJ? When can I actually have time to produce? It was just like. It was like a fucked up schedule. Like I did not like it whatsoever. And at the same time, I was taking time to meet up and network with people. And because I was networking with so many people, I had so many contacts. I felt like, fuck, I need to have something because I don't want to lose, you know, that contact with those. Is I don't want it to spend time and say like, hey guys, you remember me for a few months ago that we met? Yeah, I don't want that to happen. So I put myself on an immense pressure of just making music. But it was just like an immense pressure that I just could not breathe. And I felt like it was a chore, a job, more than just not me having some fun with it. And that was like when I decided like I need to have a hiatus when it comes to music, man. I put myself into a hiatus, like I stopped altogether. And mind you, this was at the time when I have all the people, all the contacts. Like I was in a management company. I was like legit about to start off, man. But I would just got burned out because of too much pressure. I was just very unhappy and nothing happened. And then when I took a pause for the cause, and started focusing on my hobbies and other shit that I really love and I really enjoy doing it, I felt much more happier. Feeling like that got me back into music just for the fuck of it. And then before you know it, I wrote down like 5 other tracks in the past 2 years.
It's crazy.
For many people, holy shit, 5 tracks only in 2 years? Dude, you're too slow. I'm like, maybe, but that's how my brain works. Like, your brain may work. You can do a track in a week. I can do a track in a month, but that's if I'm highly motivated to do it. So it's like I wasn't I stopped altogether, and then I stepped back, and then I decided to do the whole podcast game, and I've never been so happy in my life when I started this game, man.
Well, good. You're good at it. You're easy to talk to. So it's like, you know.
Thank you. You know, I was never like this. I was very, very shy person.
Oh, for real?
My whole life, I was always a shy person. Like it's not like I was never afraid to talk to people. It's just that if there's nothing in common, or if there's or nobody introduced me to you, then I wouldn't have the balls to come up to you and talk to you. That's how I was. Sure. Now I'm just hitting everybody up. It's like, yo, you want to come over to the show? Yeah, okay, dope. Let's talk.
Yeah. That's how it should be. Believe it or not, I was like really shy growing up too. Until honestly about like 17, 18 maybe.
Okay.
I had like, I wouldn't like talk to anyone in school and stuff. And I had like, I mean, I don't know if like I really did, but I felt like I had like social anxiety in a way because I would just be so scared to like be myself and talk to people.
Right.
But you know, I I did this one job. I did a door-to-door sale job during COVID.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yo, you wildin'. You wildin'.
Yeah. That was rough. Like during the pandemic. Like, I don't know.
Damn. It's like, yeah, no, 6 feet apart. So you don't have your mask. Stay away from me. Coronavirus.
Damn it.
Dude, I could tell you stories for days about how many like Karens. Literally like,
oh shit. Give me one. Just give me one.
Oh man. I mean, honestly, we had to go to 10 different cities because we kept getting kicked out because people kept calling and being like, why are these people in my neighborhood doing like door-to-door sales during this time? And then like, yeah. So like, honestly, we had to move around a lot. But like that job, even though it was really hard, I got through that job and the like craziest time. And pretty much if you didn't sell a system for like 2 weeks, you got sent home and you lost the back end of your money, which was about like 20%.
What?
And a system's $800. So like the money builds up, you know? So pretty much I finished that whole thing. I got through like my like anxiety of like talking through with people. And at the end of that, my complete mindset changed on life. I used to have like really bad stage fright too, but I knew I always wanted to like perform in front of people and make music, but I would shake like when I got on stage. So yeah, so after that job, something in my mind just switched and I'm like, hey, listen, like you just did this and you don't want to do that with your life. Like you just completed that entire summer and you don't want to make that profession, but like you want to do music. So why don't you just say, fuck it. I really don't care what anyone thinks. I'm going to be myself and I'm going to go and I'm going to pursue what I want. And I'm not going to give a shit about what anyone else has to say about it. And then from that on, people just kept fucking with it and kept fucking with that idea that I have. And like, now, like, I love being on stage. Like, I love talking to people. It gives me that high that like is insane. Like, yeah, I always say like, there's no drug, there's no amount of alcohol, there's no like nothing in the world can make you feel the way it feels to literally be on stage and like putting out this energy and the crowd just looks at it and reflects it right back to you because they're fucking with your shit. And like to have your own music, which is your entire like emotion and creativity, like, and have people love it. It's insane.
Nah, I sympathize with that, man. And I tell everybody, it's like, dude, when I'm DJing, that's when I actually feel the most alive.
Yeah, you feel so good.
Yeah, so good. Bro. Like I miss those days when I used to DJ and do these clubs and festivals and venues and shit. Like, oh my God, the energy there was just unreal. And I go there sober. I don't even drink or smoke or any of that shit. Even to this day, I still don't. And when I go there, bro, it's just full of energy. And it's just like, I feel like I'm home. Like, I feel I'm in the right place, you know? This is my shit. Sure. This is how I run this shit, you know? Mm-hmm. Even to this day, like I haven't DJed in a while. Like you give me a turntables and everything's just like riding a bicycle. I'm just gonna come back again and bam, I fucked shit up, yo.
Exactly.
Dude, I sympathize with that, man. And the good old times, man. I wish I could actually do that again, but I know for sure, like the more I fuck with the podcast and the more I see the vision of mine with this show, like I can see like this show is gonna open for me a lot of doors. And I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. That's for sure. Because I know I'm going to make it happen. Like shit, I started in the pandemic, started with no followers. I got 100 followers right now.
Yeah, you're good, bro. I mean, yeah, you look like you're like popping on like Twitter and stuff.
Honestly, I'll be honest. I don't fuck with social media like that. honestly, I'm very anti social media altogether because I remember who I was when I started with that social media when I started out, and I hate it. I hate that whole fake shit. I hate that whole deal. Like I gotta post myself, just like yo, I did this. Like yo, like I'm a very private, quiet person when it comes to shit like that about my job and my aspects. Like I let my actions speak for themselves. You know.
Exactly, and that's how you should be. Honestly,
Yeah.
That's how I feel about TikTok, dude. Like it's low key pressuring because you have like everyone's like, oh, you gotta like post on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's like the most hyped social media thing right now. And I'm like, dude, like that's not me. Like I'm not I don't want to do like little dances and shit.
Yeah,
like
nah. I'm too old for that shit, bro. I ain't got time for that, man.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was like your age or younger, like I would probably get on board with that and start like, all right, if this is what I gotta do to be an artist, like I'll do it. But me right now, I'm just like, nah, fuck this shit. One of my homies actually did told me like create a TikTok account when I did for the podcast. And then when I upload clips, I see a lot of viewership. It's like, oh shit, you know, it's getting an attraction. Like it's getting more attraction than my other platforms, ironically, you know? That's dope. I fuck with that. I have no problem with it. Problem is it takes a lot of my time just to do a single clip of an episode. And mind you, like you gotta be on top of this shit, you know, because if not, you'll be ghosted around. So imagine that after once I do all the shenanigans I had to do for an interview on a show and I have it uploaded, now I just gotta scroll and the entire interview and get the best parts and clip on them and then try to upload it. And it's a pain in the ass to upload them because I don't have space in my phone, and then I gotta do it from my computer.
That part, the space part, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's a producer's hazardous, man. Like every producer out there in the world, they have space problems with computers, with phones, everything. It's always a dilemma. So obviously, when I have my clips are all fucking HD shit, you know. So it's gonna be like every video is gonna be like fucking 600 megabytes, some shit, you know. And me uploading them, and then the data consumes my phone for no goddamn reason. So
it's a pain in the ass.
No, and it's a pain in the ass, and for that, I rather pay somebody to do that. Yeah. I'll rather pay somebody to log into my accounts and here's the episode, do a clip out of it, post it at this time and go run it. No, bro.
I feel that, bro. I feel that. Fucking storage.
Yo, for real. And it's just like that with Instagram and Twitter as well. I don't fucking fuck with any of those, but I have it and I use it because it's the only way for me to reach out with people. It's, you know, it's the way I reach out to you. Yeah. It's the only way I reach out to every other artist that I've already interviewed and the ones that I'm about to interview right now. So it's like it's like the quickest way for me to get in touch with people, because if I write a nice little email, most of the time they're just gonna ignore it. But if I do it personally and DM them, I have a higher chance of them responding to me and say yeah or no or ghost.
It's true.
And if they say yeah, it's like, hey, either yeah, let's do it, schedule it, or yeah, talk to my manager to schedule it. And that's when it gets the tedious part, when I talk to the managers. Jesus Christ, bro. I hate dealing with managers, especially when managers don't reach out back to me. It's like, yo, and I try to talk to the guys. It's like, yo, I sent an email. It's like, yeah, man, like I can't do anything. Like that's up to him now. It's like, fucking hey, I'm fucking stuck to these motherfuckers, man.
Dude, I don't even know how like all of that part works. Honestly, I've been doing everything on my own for the past year.
So tell me more about your little career, of how it all began. Like, what actually really prompted you to say, like, I want to become a music producer or MC or rapper, you know?
Yeah, of course. Honestly, I've like music's always just like been there for me all my life. It's like always been like number one for me, the thing I love the most. Like, and I'm like a very like, honestly, I think I got ADHD. My parents never diagnosed me with that shit, but I'm like, I definitely do.
Welcome to the club, man. I'm all ADD over here, so
because my mind is like always like this, and like I keep running ideas, and like I've always music's been my number one outlet, no matter what. For me growing up, I grew up in a very like conservative Christian household. It's kind of weird, but like rap music was my like only outlet. I just felt so driven to it and somewhat connected to it because I thought, wow, like how cool these people are telling entire stories and expressing themselves through words and through poems and through like rapping.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was an entire amazing concept. And it was so, for me, rap music had a lot more emotion to it than any other music because they're telling their story. And there's so much creativity to it where when you write the lyrics, you can paint pictures, you can use like synonyms and stuff for it to like kind of like come together in a really creative, like humorous way even.
Yeah.
And that ability to me, like I didn't see in the music that like my parents would listen to and stuff. So I fell to that. And then I would just repeat the lyrics a lot as a kid, and I began like writing my own and stuff. And I got like really ridiculed for that from them for like a lot of years, but I felt like it was like my only escape through that. So for 4 years of my life, up to like being like 18, I pretty much only listened to rap music. But that developed something in my brain where I'm able to like know exactly when a word should come into a beat. And I would just, honestly, I would just write and freestyle a lot in my room, like for hours on end, for days. And I just got really good at it. So when I was 18 and like, I took that initiative after the pandemic too. So I guess that was like a few years after, I started to like go to the studio out here too. Cause I'm like, fuck it. Like I'm good at this. I have a lot of people that tell me I'm good at this. I'm going to make some rap music.
Okay.
And so I went, and that's when a lot of people opened up my eyes for me too, because I would be around like rappers that have been doing it for years, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I could freestyle. And they're like always like, okay, this little, like I would come in wearing like, I think I might have been like in a sorority at times, so I'd come in wearing shit like that.
They'd be like,
so I'd be like, oh,
what is this white girl sorority bitch coming over here to a studio rapping shit? What the fuck is this shit?
Exactly. So I would go, and I would go in, and then I would like out freestyle them. I gotta out rap them. And then like people would be like, what the, like I would just shock the fuck out of people. So I got, the more people that were like, holy shit, I got really confident in it, to the point where I'm like, at this point, like I'll go up to anyone right now and just like fucking freestyle. And because I'm able to do that, I think when I got introduced to EDM around like 18, I fell in love with house music a lot, because I just love like the beat of it, the energy it brings. It's the same BPM as your heart rate. So that, that has to like have something with like your vibration and frequency, and like, it just makes me feel alive. And so I was like really able to kind of like piece together where music should come in, and like the DJing part of that, because like I was able to get where beats come in through songs, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I had this like really crazy idea that I kind of wanted to, I didn't want to go and like be a rapper. because I kind of felt like, and I still feel this way,
Mm.
that if you're gonna do that, I feel like they're gonna try to, like in the industry or like a record deal or something, is gonna try to paint you a certain way.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like when you think of a white female rapper, the only person I can honestly think of, or two people, are gonna be Iggy Azalea and Bad Baby. And it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not me.
Right.
Like,
They're gonna paint the picture as like, oh, this white girl's like just like these girls, that is just a wretched ass girl that's trying to be part of it and it's nothing. And then people are just gonna put this negative connotation on you, and you haven't even started, you haven't even say anything bad or good. People, the industry will look down on you basically. And they'll try to stomp you before you even start it. Unless you do some wild crazy shit that it becomes viral, that's the only time when the industry will be like, "Oh, hey, you're a rapper too. Hey, can you spit some bar? Oh, hey, why don't you come over to our record label? You know, we can make something happen." That's the only time, unfortunately.
Exactly.
You know.
And I really can't do something or be something that like I don't want. Like it will literally like physically show on me, or it will like just come out like shit. And then it's like, why did it come out like shit? And I'm like, because that's not me. So I can only like put, if something's real, like people are gonna recognize that. So like where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So like basically I kind of want to take the concept of like me rapping and using my vocals and stuff and combine it with house music, specifically like bass house music.
Oh.
So that's been like my entire concept this like whole time. It's the reason why I'm like pursuing music. It's what I want my identity to be as an artist, is kind of putting rap music in a way with house in my own creative way, and something that really hasn't been done too much before.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I really barely heard anyone rap in house. Like, it's very, very rare. If it is there, it is there, but it's just I can't think about it on top of my head. Like, only I've heard people rap in drum and bass. That I know, especially freestyle, they do that a lot. I know, obviously, our scene, the dubstep scene, but like who do we got? We got Volcatron, we got my homies, Virus Syndicate, like we got a bunch of other guys. You know, Split Breed has done it. G-Eazy actually started with Borgorb when they made the Forbes songs, you know. But with house, like I can't say for sure if I've ever heard a rapper house music or a rap. Maybe there is, and then maybe I just never heard of it, but it's just not out there. And this is actually pretty cool for you, because this is actually something that you can tackle and create your own trend. And by God, when you have that, everybody's gonna jump into that wave. That's for sure. So you may actually have something. I feel like you just have to like know when to execute it and how to execute it correctly, so it can actually make it happen.
Exactly. And that's why I've been working with a lot of other producers, and like my homie Too Kind, me and him made a song together, and I told him my idea, and we like went off on that idea and stuff, and we executed something pretty quick, and like it came out pretty good. I know Dr. Fresh really fucked with it. So
oh shit, Dr. Fresh?
Yeah. He I always try to make sure to go to his house call Twitch streams every single month. And I sent that to him, and he freaked out about it. He was like, This is different. This is awesome. And it was really cool because that concept that I just told you that I want to be like my whole identity as an artist, he kind of like said that right back to me, and like, you know, I didn't tell him. So it was really cool that he picked up on that. He's like, you're executing your vocals in a way that hasn't really been done, and you're doing it with the instrumentation of the song that no one else is doing. And I'm like, oh man, you picked up on that. Like fuck yeah. It was I low key like cried like when he said that, but it was a huge step for me. It definitely put a lot of fire. That was about like a month ago, and we like me and my homies busted out like 2 more tracks just like a week later after that.
Yo, that's cool. Fire. Yo, if Dr. Fresh himself tells you that you got something that's completely different, seize the moment. Now is definitely your time, and you're gonna be standing out. That's the most important thing. Like, forget about the whatever you're doing on the beats and the song itself. Forget about that. No, anybody can make house. I can make house. It's fucking easy. Everybody's gonna roast me up this, but yeah, it's fucking easy. As a bass producer, I can make any fucking genre. But what you can do is rap on some of those house songs. So the more you do that, the more you got something. And if you got that monster potential with you, it's gonna stand out. Straight up, it's gonna stand out. Like, nobody's gonna be doing it until you start to pop off, and then everybody wants to hop on it. You're gonna be the trend. I'm telling you.
Well, hey, listen, I'm just taking this shit day by day. I'm taking every opportunity. I'm like listening to people. You know, I'm being nice. I'm being myself.
Absolutely.
It's working out. It's working out.
Don't ever change yourself. No, not for anyone.
Oh, fuck no.
No, not for anybody. Not even from your family, your friends, or industry people. Nobody. Not even for me. I would never tell you don't change. If I ever tell you you should change shit, like, you should tell me like, yo, why? What happened to you? Why are you telling me this? And if I do say something to you that you should change your habits a little bit, it's probably because I'm looking out for you, you know? I'm looking out for you. But I will always put my best interest on everybody who's come over here and everybody who I talk to. You are very genuine, and you're very nice and sincere and humble. Don't ever change that attitude for nobody. Be yourself all the time, because this is how you are. This is how you are. Everybody has to accept the way you are right now, whether they like it or not. This is how the package came. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Straight up. So, yeah, like, I can see it right now. You really have a monster potential right now. And
Thank you.
And I'm so happy that I was able to sit down and have this conversation with you, you know, because it's just like, wow, cool. Like, I'm actually seeing an up-and-coming artist who's actually gonna take off if they continue with this path.
Hey, I'm seriously not gonna stop. Like, I tell people like, you're gonna have to kill me if you want me to stop. I'm absolutely not stopping. I'm just, you know, it's just keep going with it. I have a lot of people and that I've met in the industry too that like said similar things to me, and you know, it just gives me more hope and stuff, and I'm just trying to like work with everybody and, you know, come up with something cool. The only person that I know that's doing something like this right now is, I know, you know, Nostalgics.
Yeah, it's a she. Yeah, I've heard of her. I haven't heard her music overall. I cannot pretend to say like, yeah, I listen to her music and her music is a shit or it is shit. Like, no, I know her. I've seen her. I follow her probably. But I do not know per se how her style is, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So before I even like put out my like first track as like AK Renny and stuff, she was the first person like that I reached out to and was like, hey, I want to do this. This is my idea. You're the only person that I know that's putting like rap, female, hip hop vocals into your own production. So I reached out to her. I actually took production lessons from her because I wanted to get my production up. Yeah. So she was really the only person that I knew that's doing it. And honestly, like that I know currently that's like really doing it right now. But even that, I feel like I want to even do it in a different way where it's like, it's more rap, you know, like it's kind of like 50-50 as much as it is bass house, as much as it is rap. Like, and a lot of people, there's problems with that sometimes where they have that call and response in house music.
Okay.
Where like you can't really put, or it would be like kind of hard to find a way to put like long lyrics that's not like repeating the same thing into a house track.
No, it's definitely something different. It's very, and it has to be the most popular genre that it has to be the hardest to make out of it, you know?
Yeah.
No, for sure. It's a challenge that you got in here, but I believe in you. I believe that you can actually do it, you know? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like, I feel like I said earlier, like, you know, I can see yourself like becoming like the next Virus Syndicate. Like, those homies, Nick and Jay, man, those are the best guys. Shout out to those guys. Though, I mean, I told them, like, guys, like, I don't know anybody in the bass community who started rapping other than you guys. Like, I'm pretty sure people follow up after you, but I don't know who started it, but I believe that you guys are like the pioneers of rap dubstep. Like, straight up. Like, I don't know anybody before then when I started listening to them that was doing that. And if you listen to their songs, it's just like, dude, this is just fire. And it feels like it's so simple. It's like you get your little verse, then you get your chorus, and then builds it up to a heavy shit, you know. Then you get another second verse, I repeat with the chorus, and then boom again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's a formula overall. Like, what they got is like it's an amazing formula. So I guess what I'm trying to get to you is, like, you know, I can see the potential that you're trying to get to, and you're trying to find that formula. Just found whatever actually works and work around it. That's the best way to actually get into that. You know?
True. Yeah. That's a good concept idea.
Nah,
I like that.
Absolutely, man. And have you also like rap before bass music overall, not just house?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm trying to think if anything I did got like put out yet, because I have one thing with the artist, but like I don't know if it's gonna happen, and like I'm not gonna like say it if it doesn't happen. But like I worked with some people. And I worked with another kid in California. I sent him my vocals. I don't know if that got put out yet, but I'm like, I can do it over like, because I'm able to freestyle like really easily and well.
Yeah.
I've been able to like work with bass genres and like bass house genres and garage, and like, you know, I can do pretty much any BPM, any genre.
So
yeah,
that's good. Hey, I'll keep that in mind for any future project that I would love to do. I'll tell you, it's like, yo, hop into this shit,
bro. I'd love to. But it's so easy to me, and it's one of the funnest things to me. While as like production, I love producing because I like just like creating music in general.
Yeah,
but it's harder for me, and it's not as easy, and it's more time consuming because you don't need to know this, but I don't really know like music theory and stuff. So it just takes me a little bit more when some people are just like, all right, let me put this chord with this one, and I have to do like a lot of testing, trial and error. Yeah. Or if I have a melody in my head, I have to like spend some time finding that shit.
Oh, wow.
Like I've had it before. I have like a lot of melodies in my head, so a lot of times I have to like sit there with the piano and like I don't know how to play piano, so I gotta like fuck around on the keyboard for a little minute.
No, I don't know how to play piano, and I only know the basics of music theory. So to be honest, we could be in the same boat in all this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, like. So that's very funny that you don't know scales when you're rapping. You just spit the bars and that's it. You don't even know whether it's like it goes along with it or not.
Oh no. I just like I mean, obviously like if it sounds good, it sounds good, but like the you know, that concept of it, I have no fucking idea.
Gotcha.
Like people are just like people just play it and then I'll just hit it. And I can change my voice, like I can change like flow and the sound of my voice easy, like from like high to low. So my ears tell me automatically like where to hit pitch wise.
Okay. Man, I'm gonna keep that in mind. Whenever I whip up something, man, that's gonna be gnarly, man, I'm gonna send it to you and be like, all right, just like do your thing and I'll work something out of it. I'm very good at vocal processing.
Okay, fuck yeah.
So, you know, when it comes to cleaning up your vocals and adding a little reverbs on top of it and doing ad-libs with just whatever you got on the vocals and auto-tune it just a tiny little bit just to make it sound like it's on key, precise. I'm very good at it. And especially when I'm editing my podcast, like I have to be mixing and mastering the vocals all the time. So
yeah, for sure.
Came with the territory. I did I had to learn on the run for many years when I started to do started projects by doing remixes. The most I did for remix was Virus Syndicate's a cappella tracks and Mode Step. Shout out to those guys. And when they release their acapellas, when they get those acapellas, I get those first hits before anybody, and I start working on something, man. And I get highly motivated when I start working on them, man. It's just, and it's funny because Mozart is more rock bass element, which I fuck with it a lot. It's one of my roots. And then you got Virus Syndicate, which is much more hip hop and rap-ish, which is easy for me to fuck with as well. So I developed how to learn how to mix properly when it comes to vocals and stuff, and know when to hit it at the right time and have that at the right key, at the right tempo, you know, at the right beat.
Yeah, for
sure. And from there, I even started doing my own vocal packs. I don't know if you've heard my vocal packs, but I did like 3 different vocal packs in my career.
Oh, I gotta check them out.
Yeah, it's all on Hybrid Trap.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'll send you a link because I have that on a playlist in my page. I'll send you a link and it's download for free. It's all for free, and but you can when you listen to them on each volume, you'll see like where I was with the whole thing and where I am, and you can listen to it. You'll be like, holy shit, he went from here to here. On vocal processing, yeah.
That's how it be sometimes, though, you know.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. I mean, if I ever plan again to work with people and they're singers, then you know I have to learn how to process their vocals. You know, at least a little bit. I had to learn from it. You know, and including my brother. That my brother is good friends with a lot of big reggaeton artists around there. So it's like if they ever want to hit me up and hey, we need somebody, this is like, all right, I guess I'll do something. Like I'm not looking forward to it, but I'll take the money,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Damn, bro. So I'll keep that in mind. Now you got me, all worked out. Now you got me like excited. It's like, ooh, shit. I'll be down to work, do something nasty, man. Like, damn.
No, that's it.
Again. So let me get this straight. Like, you just started not too long ago, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I just started like taking everything serious and like putting out music under like the name AK Renny like for only probably a year now.
Okay. And so you have only barely any experience when it comes to this whole industry as a whole.
I have like, yeah, I have barely any experience. I had a old roommate that was like extremely involved in the music industry.
Yeah.
And she like brought me along to all her events. So I got really plugged in and connected in that way.
Okay.
But she ended up she's no longer part of that anymore and no longer in our lives.
Okay.
So like I don't have that anymore. And when I lost that, I got like kind of scared because I was like, oh man, like I don't have this person to take me to these places and like network with. So like you know, I don't have that in. And like that kind of freaked me out. But then I had to get my mindset right and be like, listen, like if you're gonna act like that, if you're gonna act like you need someone to hold your hand in this industry and like take you in and like try to introduce you to people to have these like connections to help you out and like be introduced to people that can lead you a certain way, then you know you're not gonna do it. You know, like you can't have someone holding your hand the whole time. Like you got to do this on your own.
Right.
And I was doing it on my own. I was just kind of like, you know, it's a big, scary scene. I was new to it.
Right.
I got too comfortable. Like being in the back the whole time and like, you know, being introduced to these people. I'm just like, I got that connections because I was like myself and I'm like,
yeah,
you know, I'm like, you make music, I make music, like let's be fucking friends, like let's be homies. But you know, I think I'm in a better position right now than I was because like even though I don't have that as much right now,
okay,
I still have like my homies and friends that all like, you know, they want to see me grow, like even though I don't have that. And they're gonna like help me out and I'm gonna help them out and we're all just gonna like make music and shit together.
Absolutely, man. I mean, you're already here in my podcast, so I'm trying to help you out as much as I can, you know, and let the whole world know about you. So, you know, you already got my help right here, you know, and whatever else you need, you just, you know, it's just one DM away for you to let me know, you know, and obviously, like,
that's what's up.
If you got like any questions in regards to the industry or business stuff, you know, or record label deals stuff, you know, please do not hesitate and contact me. Like I'm more than happy to let you know and especially from look at me as like a third person's perspective and somebody who's been in this nightlife scene for 10 years and been in this Florida scene for at least a good 5 or 7 years, you know? So it's like I've dealt with managements, bookings, promoters, like artists. I've dealt with so many fuck shits like you would never believe that half of stuff that happens in this industry, like half of it. Like I can't even tell you straight up that at least the grand majority high level artists don't even make their own music. And I know the producers who made that's how far I've gone. In fact, let me put it this way. How far a knowledge that I know a certain duo artist that came from Miami who are right now like, you know, oh my God, these couple deserve to be like the next level couple shit. And let me tell you, they paid their way to their success.
Yeah.
Money.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I'm bleeping the names out, but I'm bleeping the names out.
I was with them last week, or when was it? Saturday.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they just came through a Jack show, but like I heard that for a long time. And it's like, you know, there's like a whole concept of that too, because like, you know, it really sucks when like someone like me, like I am a like home studio.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, like I'm a fucking struggling college student, and you know, like every all the money I make, where like it's not, if it's not going to rent, if it's not going to like my essentials in life, then like dude, it's going straight back to music and stuff. And it's kind of, you know, it sucks. Everybody grew up in different environments, and there's a lot of artists who like, even if they didn't do that, they grew up with a lot of money where they didn't need to have like a job. You know what I mean? Like they have this money so they can put all their time and shit into just music. So, you know, to each their own at the end of the day, but it does suck. Like, you know,
nah, be bitter. It's okay. It's okay to be petty, you know? Fuck those fuckers, you know? Yeah. And I know that for the longest time, because I know their ghost producer at the time, and that ghost producer happens to be a close friend of mine.
Oh shit, dude, that's how it is. Like I know a few people that have like ghost produced for like big artists, and like, you know, they'll have like 5,000 followers. Not that like really even shows like who they are as an artist, but just as example, like it's kind of like they don't really have that fan base, but like they're the ones making that music.
Yeah, and you know what? Let me tell you, I have right now in my area, I have no problem if anybody's ghost producing, man. Hey, get that money, get that bread, bro. Like, get that recognition. Believe it or not, doing lots of ghost producing can open a lot of doors for you. And I've seen a lot of people doing it, and now they're working with big guys, with literally big EDM guys, and working with those big EDM guys open doors with actual mainstream big guys. It has happened. Exactly. I've seen it happen. So there's nothing wrong with ghost producing, you know. But that personal set of it, you know, it is what it is. It's business at the end of the day. You know, you need to put food in your plate for that. That being said, I have zero respect for people who pay their way to their success. That's the people that I have a problem, because like, goddamn, you know who could have had that slot? Someone like you, someone like me, who are working our asses off and doing everything by the book and doing as much original as possible. But because we don't have the pool, because we don't have the resources they do, we get left stranded, and then they're the ones who get highly noticed, you know. And I know this for a fact, because they told me exactly how it all started. Like, they invested on these guys, and they went on Insomniac, and they paid Insomniac to put them on the lineup, to put them on the main stage, and they got their money back out of it.
They did all of it.
Oh no, it's full. And these are not guys. These are not people who are aspired to be like, oh yeah, I always wanted that. It's like, nah, probably one of them, but the other half, the dude, he was always a rich boy. A Jew, not to put any, you know, ethnicity, but he was a Jew. He was a Jew with a healthy lifestyle. He had everything. He had bar mitzvahs and shit. He actually DJ for all these bar mitzvahs and whatnot. Like, he had money behind it, you know, and he only wanted to do it to get lit, to get fame, to get the money, because it's the easiest thing for him not to actually have an actual job. And I've seen him when he gets shit-faced toasted by taking pills and alcohol and all that shit. Like, I see it all. And what that's one of the things that they lost my respect out of it. What makes me even madder, like makes me like, oh, if I see you, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face, is that they after with the management that they were fucking with, that management put them on the map. They went ahead and finished the contract, and they dumped them and went to Nightmares management, and felt so salty. I mean, it hurt the manager, the former manager. He felt hurt because he believed in these guys, and he put so much time and energy and money into these guys to put them where they are, and then all of a sudden they backstab him by saying like, Now we're gonna go with Will Runzo from Nightmares Manager. That's the part where I see them as like, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face for that. That's some level bullshit, man.
Yeah, and like one thing I do have to say is like, there's that situation is fucking awful.
Yeah, no, shit. It's awful as fuck.
Yeah, but like, there's that shit. Every career and everything. There's if you look at, like, I always tell people, like, look at a job, right? Look at some office job. There's it happens all the time where like someone will get a high position and they don't deserve it. Maybe it's like the boss's son or something, and they're lazy as shit. Like, it happens all the time. So it's gonna happen in like the music industry, like just as much, maybe more as shit. But what happens is like the real will always prevail. And like, people feel it. People see what's real. Like, there's people out there that when they listen to music and stuff, like they'll understand you because you're being yourself and you're being real. And those are the people that have fans that like will just connect with them. And no matter what, like, they'll develop like a true fan base. It will just be like, I just feel like people who are real and make the real music, they'll always prevail over the fake shit.
Absolutely. It's that old saying, the quicker you go, the harder you fall.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it's just, you can look at these people and they might be like succeeding right now at this time, but like, honestly, things will just unravel or, or something.
It's gonna get derailed at one point in their lives. That's for sure. And I'll be a petty motherfucker that I'll be pointing it out. It's like, oh, look at you. I'm sorry. I'm just too petty for that shit. Like, and it's because like I hate that you did dirty to my people. So it's like, it's not fair, man. It's not fair, especially when it's honest people. People who are genuine, who wants to work with you. Like, nah, bro. When it comes to my people, I don't let anybody fuck with my people like that. Like, nah, bro. That shit don't fly. My Puerto Rican side of me just kicks in and says like, yo, let's go. Vamos pa la calle. Vamos pa la calle.
And like, another concept I always like to think is like, let's say like you're in a room, like you're in the green room with like a bunch of other artists. And then like someone comes up to you and they're like, oh, hey, let's work on this track together. It's like, how the fuck are you gonna work on that track together if you're like, like, what I mean? Like, especially if they're doing like some Zoom shit like this together, and it's just like, and people most of the time, they know it's real and shit.
Yeah.
Like other artists. So, you know what I mean? Like, if they're gonna talk to you about something, or like they can sense out if you're being fake, like, especially if they're like years into this shit.
Yeah.
They've definitely seen it all. And that's something I always like think of. I'm just like, dude, whatever. Like, like people are just gonna not, other artists are not gonna respect you. And like, that's something that like, need. Like,
like, if
to be
you
like happy. Like,
thriving. If you look at it, the grand scheme of things, you may believe that the industry is big, but naturally it's very smaller than you think. It's like everybody knows everybody. And when people hear this type of shit, that's where, things get spread like wildfire. And if you look carefully at their discography, they barely have any collaborations, or they barely work with anyone because of that concept, because they all know, and nobody wants to fuck with them. Nobody, like, and they can self-righteous tell everybody, it's like, nah, we're too big to work. We don't need to work with anybody. It's like bullshit, bro. Marshmello works with Marshmello is like one of the biggest EDM DJs in the world, and he made an album and collaborate with like 8 different artists, all from all sorts of tiers, from high tier and low tiers.
And like, collabing to me is like one of the best things ever, because it's like you're putting your creativity in with someone else's, and it's coming out an experience that's never like been done before.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's, that shit's more beautiful to me sometimes than like trying to do it yourself, like completely.
Oh, absolutely. 100% about that,
Yeah.
man. And if you
Yeah.
have a good record about that, and people will want to fuck with you even more. They say like, yo, I want to work with something with you, man. I heard good things about you. Yo, I heard that track. That shit is fire. I want to work with you. But like shit like that. And then it becomes very universal. It's like, hell yeah, everybody welcome. Let's go. Let's do this, man.
Exactly. And it just makes sense too, because like in some aspects, like the collab with me and Toucan, like Toucan's been producing for years. You know, he knows shit that like I might not get to know or experience on like tactics till like a year later from now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just that years of experience of like production and his ability to like do like bass and house and like multiple genres like so easy and fast. And then like my writing ability and then my like vocal ability, you know, it's kind of like you put in like 200s together. Like I'm like 75% good at this, but you're 100% good at this.
Right.
And you're like 75% good at this, but I'm 100% at this. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, you can make shit just so better. And that's why I love like collabing, because like I'm not good at this right now, but you're great at this. Like, let's make something beautiful.
I like to hear that a lot, man. And only this year I started to open up a little bit more and say like I'm down to collab with other artists. You know, I'm like I said, like I'm down to do a collab with you, and I can see myself having like a fire dubstep track and just like, yo, can you spit on this shit? Like, let's go, like let's go. But I was actually gonna ask you that concept of working on collabs. Like, what's your creative process behind it? Like, how do you tackle it?
Yeah, good question. Good question. So, my favorite thing to do is like pretty much like sit down with someone, and then like the whole time, even if they're the ones working on their computer with the production, I'm always like sitting down that person, putting in my input the whole time. So like I'm at the same time like building that track with them, even though I'm not like physically laying out like the bass line and stuff, or like playing the piano for the melody. And that's typically how I like to work when building the track. And then a lot of times we'll start by like making a bass line, then making the drop, and then just going off from there and like feeling out the idea. Maybe like doing like a few like freestyles over it too, and like seeing what works, seeing what flows, and then just building it from that.
Okay. And typically, how long does it take you to finish your projects, whether it's collabing or your own personal stuff?
So when I'm in the zone and like we're on fire with it, 24 hours.
Yo.
But I have like, at the same time I say that, I can't tell you how many like Ableton projects are on this computer that like, you know what I mean? That like they were kind of like an idea, but they didn't give me that high. They gave me a little like flatness to it of like, I love this, but like I don't know what I'm doing. Like, and I've had tracks like that where like, you know, like I finished in like a month. But like when we're in the zone, which like a lot of these collabs and stuff that I've been doing, it takes like 24 hours, and it's insane. It's insane.
God damn, that's what's up. Damn.
Yeah,
yo, that's good to hear. That means you're very fast on doing this shit. That's a good sign.
I am like definitely vocally, like I said, like production wise, I'm not really there with like whipping that out in 24 hours, but it's kind of like I like working with people that have the same speed as me with me like doing vocals and writing, you know?
Okay.
Because then we get to dish out some shit super fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're always open to to work on or try other genres, not just house or bass, right?
Yeah, like I honestly just want to like make as much music as possible. like I'm like that's why, dude. I just think it would be cool. Like, what if I go to this stage? What if I'm at a festival and I go to this stage and I'm like, oh shit, that's my vocal. And then I go to the house stage, I'm like, oh shit. Like,
Yo,
you know what I mean? It'd be like,
absolutely.
Pretty fucking.
That would have been a very fulfilling moment. And let me tell you, for someone who I've heard big time artists like playing my music, like, oh my God, when you get that, when you listen to that and you hear about it, it's just an undescribable feeling, man. Like you legit will cry that you hear your vocals being played by a big time artist like that.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if I've heard that live before, honestly. I know Dr. Fresh threw me on like 2 mixes, which are pretty cool. And I got to do like a few mixes for a few labels where like, of course.
Dope.
Let's go. And then, but yeah, I think that's all I have. And like, those were huge for me. So I can't even like fucking imagine like, you know, just, and like, you not even knowing, you don't even know.
Yeah, no, you didn't even know it.
Like, hear your shit, you know?
No, that for sure. Like, hey, my first time was Adventure Club played one of my first tracks that was released on dubstep.net, and it was a big collab with Big and Slim.
Oh, that's huge, bro.
Yo, that was our first collab, and it was released on dubstep.net, and fucking Adventure Club played it on Lollapalooza, and we were just like mind blown because nobody knew about it. Nobody knew about it. Mind you, Lollapalooza happened, and then it wasn't until a few months ago I was in a group chat and someone mentioned, it's like, yo, do you guys know that Wilson's song was played by Adventure Club in Lollapalooza? And I was like, wait, what?
It's like, see, that's the thing that sucks. It's like I have artists that like downloaded my song, but it's like, have you played this? Did you put this in your set? It's like, did someone video it? And I just like don't know.
Even to this day, I still don't know who plays my music. I don't even. I know that a lot of people fuck with it. I just don't know who's still playing it. I was like, and if I ever find out that fucking Decision ever plays my song, I'll be like, to the moon.
Oh man, that's huge.
That'll be fire. But Decision is not really my focus. It's actually Zomboy. Zomboy ever plays one of my songs, I'll be happy as fuck. I don't have to produce any more music. This is like, I did it. I got Zomboy. That's it.
That's how I feel. I was telling someone the other day, I was like, I feel like every artist has like a certain point, at least like on their like, you know, on their like come up, on their like beginning, where it's like, damn, like I get to this point, that's it. It's like, that's my goal. And like, obviously you got to keep going after that. You got to like, bigger. You got to like keep running it. Have more goals, have bigger dreams. But like for me, like that's like getting on night base and stuff.
That's fire. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting closer. I mean, you already got Dr. Fresh's approval, you know, and shit. You're getting closer and closer to your goals, man. And night base for sure, you know. My biggest goal, in terms of release, I hope that I get to release at least one song or one remix or one collab or one feature. I don't know. Any sort of release on any shape or form in Monster Cat. That is like one.
Oh,
that is literally the biggest goal I have.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's huge.
Do it, and I fucking love Monster Cat a lot, you know. And to me, like ever managed me, a kid from Puerto Rico, released on one of the biggest record labels in the whole entire world. It's like, dude, I did it, man. I did it.
Yeah,
And then after that, once I release a song with them, that's what I tell the middle finger to everybody. It's like, fuck you, everybody. I did it. See, you ever doubted me? Here it is, motherfuckers.
motherfuckers.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you, like, I noticed that you said about working out with labels. Have you actually been working with other labels?
Yeah. I've released on Night Engine, who's like been one of the nicest, like most. They've been like I've never seen a label like work with artists more. Honestly, they've just been so helpful with like reaching out to me and like always commenting and liking all my stuff, and like it's really cool to see because you have someone really like supporting you on like all your socials and stuff, which I feel like you don't get that from a lot of labels.
Yeah, no, it's very rare.
It's kind of like they just release your music and you're good.
Exactly.
And with them, they're always like posting like happy birthday to this artist, like he released once on our thing, and it's like always there commenting on my stuff, always there liking my stuff, always there like supporting me. I put a mix out with them too. So they're cool. And then I've been with Girl Gang too, which is Jeannie's label. Love you, Jeannie. She's fucking awesome. She gave me a really big opportunity this year to be the first mix on Girl Gang this month. And that's cool because and like it's cool because a lot of the female artists in the industry like fuck with them and they follow that. So it's cool to like have that opportunity and like, like at least some of them probably like saw.
That's actually pretty dope. And I was actually going to ask you about that, about the female artists in this. Do you feel that you have support for any female artists out there? Or do you feel like it's like a little bit of support, a little bit of backlash, here and there?
Yeah. Honestly, I do have like major support. Like I know Nostalgic's one of the nicest people I actually got ever. I actually got the opportunity to meet her in person at EDC Orlando. And like super nice. She was the person that taught me his production. So she was there like the beginning of my journey and stuff. And like, we did everything over Zoom. So I like talked to her like I did with you, and I was able to like show her my like rap music, and she's like, damn, like she was one of the first people to tell me, she's like, you're good. You're gonna just keep doing this, bro, and you're gonna go far, like go, because I was telling her these ideas and shit. And she was very supportive, and that's cool. And then I got Dream Takers. Kelly's one of my best friends as an artist, and
shout out to
and
those
then
guys.
I have a lot of, even though it is like extremely male dominant, I feel like there's a sense of communities with females because of that. I've never felt like
have you ever felt
intimidated?
Intimidating.
Yeah, I've honestly never like felt intimidated by like another artist because like they're female or anything, or like by another female artist in general. Honestly, I honestly think it's quite the opposite, and because there's more guys in what I'm doing with like house music and like producing in general, I feel like I never feel intimidated because I'm just like, bro, I'm just like doing me. But I feel like sometimes I feel like intimidation from like them, and it's like, who the fuck is this? Like, who the fuck does this girl think she is? Like, type shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I mean, this industry has done dirty to many artists, including and most of the time female artists, and it's one of those times like real. I feel like as male artists, we should be the ones protecting these girls, right? Sometimes like I don't know, sometimes you see some dirty shit, man, and you be like, damn, bro, this is exactly the problem. This is exactly why things don't change, and we don't change it doesn't change unless we do something about it, and I feel like luckily, I haven't had any bad experience with anybody who has ever done dirty to a friend of mine to that extreme, and it's not unheard when I hear, like that sick situation, the base nectar shit, like that type.
Oh, like that shit.
Yeah, like that shit.
Yeah.
Like I have heard stories about it, and that's why when it comes to that, is like I feel like it's so true, and so true is like fuck, like why am I hearing stories? What have you done about it? Like I want to hear the story about like, oh yeah, you stopped him for doing some stupid shit like that. Not the story like, oh yeah, it came about and he was acting like that and it happened. I was just like, motherfucker, just do something about it. This is exactly why the industry is so fucked up, Hello, hashtag me
sure.
too shit,
Yeah, for sure.
There's no necessity to have me too if we all would have played, working together, but no. No. We're all gonna be dirty fucking pigs and all this shit, and it's just as such, Where I'm going with this is I wanted to ask you, like, what's your perspective in all this? Like, have you ever felt like shit? Like, any given time, somebody can be doing some dirty shit or come up to me like that? Like, have you ever thought of such stuff like that? I know it's like it's hard to think about it, but it's like it won't be. It's not impossible that may or may not happen. Like, it's a chance. Unfortunately. Like, what are your thoughts? Sure. What are your thoughts behind all of this?
I mean, like with that shit, I guess it's a little different for me because I'm a lesbian. So like,
yeah, don't do the trick. Don't do the trick.
No, I mean, I've definitely like, there's been like definitely times where like I've had like guys like, I'm like seriously just trying to like work with them on music or something, or like just trying to like chill with them as an artist, and I've had them like come on to me or like even like grab my ass, but like I'm just like,
no.
Okay. That yeah. That's only happened like twice, but like, I'm just like, hey, I'm gay. And then like no one's ever pushed it to that point. It's when they push it to, past the point of like, oh, I said no and you're like still acting like that.
Yeah.
But I luckily haven't had that yet. I hope to God to never happen.
Hope to God that you'll never have that. Absolutely. Hope to God that it will never happen. But I just want to look, I'm just trying to prepare you to what's to come, because
for sure.
It's not the same for me to have this conversation with a guy who's starting up and he doesn't have to worry about that versus a female who's about to come out and about to start this shit and has to worry about this shit. The previous females that I've interviewed in this podcast, I don't have to have that conversation because A, most of them already have representation that I can trust and that I know they're gonna be taken care of. And B, with Kelly, she got her boy. She got her boyfriend, like Dream Takers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like they got each other's back. So it's like I don't have to worry about it. But I did tell, some stories about that after the podcast. It's like, hey, just you two, couples, just keep an eye on your surroundings all the time, And you happen to be my first rapper in this podcast, believe it or not.
True. That's cool.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah. So you happen to be my first rapper who's also a music producer and is a female. And I'm telling you, like, I have to say something so you can be mentally prepared, because the industry is very ugly. When you get your feet wet into it, like, you are gonna see the nasty side of it. That being said, there's always gonna be the good side of it, but you have to be aware and acknowledge that there is an ugly side of it, and you have to like work it out. Like, you have to make sure that this shit does not affect this shit.
Yeah. definitely. Absolutely.
And
And like,
hey, like I just want the best for you, and God willing protect you with all what's come to you, you know. But I'm telling you,
yeah,
based off my experience of somebody who's outside of the States, who's never been into this industry, and I just been and worked with it and dealt with it, like I know how far it can go. And it's just, and then like I just not cannot imagine when it's a female's perspective by themselves, you know.
yeah. This is true. I do have a lot of guy artists in my like life right now that like I have them too. So
Mhm.
like I know that like if anything ever happens, management wise or like artists working with other artists wise that like seems something like that, like I know I got their back to protect me. And
Dope.
like I guess that's a security that's like on my mind where I like at least I have that too.
Yeah.
So I'm not like petrified or anything, but like I definitely know what's up. I've definitely like heard and like seen things before like that in the industry, and like I just know that like I have a good group of people around me that like are there for security for me and to
Dope.
protect me.
That's dope. Just
Yeah.
never let your guard.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, there's a reason why there's many reasons actually why, you know, I consider to be like the lone wolf in all this. And it's because people have fucked me over so many times that it's just different people that it's just became the part in which it made me like stay away from people altogether. It's just like I don't want to work with anybody because like if this is how it's gonna be, why the fuck am I here? You know, like, and shit ain't worth it, you know, at that point, you know. And that way I learn how to keep my guard up and know when I can let it down. Everything comes into time and with trust, and just be genuinely you. Just be you at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I just want to leave that out for you. I just want to have a peace of mind that I know that you're mentally ready for this shit, you know?
Sorry, I was posting Snapchat.
Oh shit, Snapchat. All right. I was trying to be sentimental with you and shit, but all right, Snapchat it is.
No. I already had it. But no. Thank you, like so much. Like absolutely.
Absolutely. Now,
I respect that.
Before we even end this, there's like a few questions that I do want to ask you because I feel like like we haven't had like a little fun time a little bit, you know, everything, you know, we had a nice conversation, you and me, but I want to have like some top questions, you know, as to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's start with an easy one. You say that because you're a rapper, who are your top 5 rappers that you put in?
Easy. Kanye, West, Kid Cudi, Big Sean, J. Cole, and Eminem.
I'm surprised you put Kanye in it.
Bro, do you see it? You see this?
No, I don't see it. Oh shit, that's the oh shit, you're a huge Kanye with. That's from Graduation.
Yeah, it's in it's from Graduation, but he's wearing the same outfit he wore to the Grammys when he performed
right
Runaway. And it plays Runaway.
Oh wow.
I hate to say it, I'm one of those crazy Kanye fans. I really don't care. That man can do anything. I think he's a music genius. His production is like why I want to produce music and why I want to make music. It's crazy. It's out of the box. And it's him. It's how he like feels at the time, and like the stories behind his music, like I know all of them, and they're like it's inspiring and it's insane.
All right, I would not deny that Kanye is a musical genius. Like, no, the guy is one of them out there.
Yeah.
On his personal life, however, he's just a maniac.
I think the media did that because
maybe there is some of it has the media manipulating the narratives and making him look like crazy, but come on, there are times in which it's like, Kanye, you're a little bit wild in this part. Like,
oh yeah, I'm not even saying the media is manipulating it. I'm just saying I think the media in general made him that crazy because honestly, I just like having that much power and exposure and like everything where you're like life is like, like no one can even like fathom having that life. It's insane.
Sure. Then again, you look at Jay-Z and Jay-Z doesn't act like that. And Jay-Z, and to me, Jay-Z is as big or bigger than Kanye. Dr. Dre is as big or bigger than Kanye.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
well, he is just crazy in general too. On top of that, but
I do not separate his musical genius from his personality. Like whatever he does on music, it's pure genius. What he does, like he has the gift. He definitely has it. Outside of that, is just like, nah, dog. You're corny as shit. You're a narcissist. You're a wild boy. You, nah, bro. You're crazy as fuck. You literally are crazy as fuck. But but then again, I mean, we're not judging them by the personalities, because if we are, then half of the rappers out there then will be judged as well.
Exactly.
I'll tell you this. I'll put my top 5 as Eminem. Eminem for sure. He is there all the way. I still to this day believe he's still the rap god. Ain't nobody surpassed him. Lil Wayne, because of all the shit he has done. Kendrick Lamar, because I feel like Kendrick is one of the top lyricists out there in the world, and there's nobody like him that can be on par. Probably Lil Wayne or Eminem, because both of them can actually freestyle, and Kendrick can just like easily go head to head with those guys. And I had another one, but I decided to change it with this one because it came from home. Daddy Yankee.
Okay.
Because Daddy Yankee revolutionized the reggaeton. Like he put reggaeton on the map around the world. Like if to this day you ask anybody, they'll tell you who Daddy Yankee is. They'll tell you, oh yeah, Gasolina. Mm-hmm. Like that motherfucker put Puerto Rico on the map and put other reggaeton artists on the map as well. Like,
what's up?
And the guy came out from the Bronx. He came out from nothing, and he had his freestyles as well. When he had this freestyle, he does it, and when he kills it on the songs, he kills it. He's one of the biggest rappers out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So when it comes to lyric wise and music wise, I put those 5 up there. I can say Wiz Khalifa is out there too. I would like to put him. Who was the other one? J. Cole. Yeah, J. Cole, definitely I could put it. Kid Cudi. Yeah, he's another musical genius,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now if you gotta put it like your top 5 rap songs, what are those 5?
Man.
In no way order.
Yeah. My favorite song in the world is Immortal by Kid Cudi.
Oh.
It's gonna be Soundtrack to My Life by Kid Cudi.
I know it's hard.
It's gonna be like Kanye and Kid Cudi. And then
that's fine.
Probably, damn, what's my favorite? I Wonder by Kanye. This is hard, bro. That's a hard question.
No, for sure. I'm right now thinking of mine. I was like, damn, mine's are even harder. There's like too many Eminems or too many of the Jay-Z's or too like I can't even balance that shit.
Yeah. I gotta look in my my Apple Replay, Apple Music Replay. It had the same top songs on it for like years. Oh, Mr. Rager by Kid Cudi. And Blood on the Leaves by Kanye.
Oh, damn. That's fire. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that. I love that song, bro, so much.
I'll tell you mine. Hold on. But I had to look down on my fucking playlist so I can actually remember, because those are the ones that I play a lot.
Yeah.
I know I just have a lot of Eminem songs. Yeah, like
I love Eminem. I feel like he was the person that really taught me how to rap. Like listening to his music, I listened to him and Dr. Dre and Nas and Jay-Z the most, like when I first got into rap music. So that I feel like their styles is what I really took and developed.
Oh, because Eminem is a fucking rap god. Like I can see, like you learn from the best to become the best. That's your very definition of Eminem. Absolutely, yeah. I will. This is one that's not an Eminem song, because I'm looking at on my songs. Joyner Lucas and Logic, ISIS.
Oh, that song's fire, bro. That song's heat.
That song to me is like numero uno to me. Like that song is just, even though I don't put it as my number one, but it's one of my tops. It's like, it's especially how fucking Logic spits the fire on his verses. It's just like, oh my god, that's
He's
just
crazy.
Like
he's crazy with it.
I'll definitely put Lil Wayne's A Milli.
Okay.
A Milli. Definitely I'll put it up there because I remember that when he got interviewed, when he did that song, it was a freestyle.
Oh shit, was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he started as a freestyle. A Milli, Lil Wayne's I'm in here, I'm a young money Milli. Yeah, it's a freestyle. Because there's one line that I fucking love a lot, and it's in that freestyle. They say, okay, Gucci, you're a goon, but what's a goon to a goblin? So you're basically saying, okay, you're somebody, but what's somebody next to a god? You know,
yeah.
That's a fire line right there. Like, oh my god, I fucking love that. I will put Eminem's. See, my favorite song from Eminem comes from the Kamikaze album.
Oh, for real? What song is that?
It's just so many of them. Like, because I fucking love the entire album. It's as a whole. Like, I will listen to it from beginning to end. I love it. The Ringers, Stepping Stones, Kamikaze itself.
Yeah.
It's basically a diss album, you know. Greatest Fall, Nice Guy, Good Guy. Even the Venom song, the collab with Joyner Lucas, Lucky You.
Oh, I listen to Lucky You all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Joyner Lucas is one of the best rappers from the new school, for sure.
Yeah. If I would have to replace one of my top 5 with somebody, it would be Daddy Yankee for Joyner Lucas, because he's definitely up there, you know, for sure.
Incredible.
Yeah. Jay-Z's again, these are all it could be hits to everybody, but I grew up listening to this shit. Like 99 Problems, like Encore, like Dirt Off Your Shoulders, like
bro, that entire album. Oh, I listen to that shit. Honestly, I listen to that shit every single morning. I listen to that, and then recently I've been listening to Big Sean's Dark Skies Paradise every fucking day since I was like 14, and it's just that shit's so good.
Dude, because the Blueprint album is just like one of those phenomenal hits that Jay-Z ever had.
Yes.
Like you can obviously Jay-Z had a lot of great projects, but one that is as legendary as that album that you can go song to song and sing it by is just like, it's rare, basically, you know.
It's extremely rare.
Yeah, absolutely. If I and one more rapper that I want to add up to, I definitely want to add to Virus Syndicate, because I talked to them over in this episode, but like I feel like not many people give them props because they're UK people and they did something that barely anybody did, you know, and they're first rappers. They're first rappers before they're anything else, you know. And now now they got multiple projects, and them as a rapper individually, it's just I listen to them individually rapping just bars to bars, and it's just like, God, then I gotta give props to these guys because these guys are legit for them to be UK based. Like, not you don't hear that many UK based rappers to be out there and be like popping fire. Nah, if you ever went to their Instagram or the Twitter, take a look at them and look at follow them individually, and you'll see that Jay does a lot of individual projects that he actually.
What's their artist name again?
Jay and Nick got. I'll send you the link so you can check them out. You know.
Okay, sick.
No, but definitely Virus Syndicate, like sick gang all the way, sick gang with the backline. You know, absolutely. You know. Before we get to the end of the show, man, I actually want to give you this opportunity. I don't usually do this to many people, but I want to give it to you right now. Is there any questions that you feel like, man, I wish we could have talked about it, or I wish that somebody knew about this so I can actually have a better guidance or a better answer to this that you have, that you think that you can ask me right away, that I may help you in one way or another?
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. So my biggest thing right now is I actually have a lot of shit coming up, which is really good. But like me, I don't have a manager. I don't have a team of people. All I have is like a bunch of homies, which is great. But, you know, I gotta like reach out to people. I gotta like have people reach out to me, ask me if I want to perform and stuff. When do you think is a certain point where it's like, okay, maybe I should really look into like getting a manager or just like having a team, and how would you go about that? Pretty much.
Very great question. And it's like the most common one that a lot of artists ask about because again, when we start in this industry, we basically don't have any guidance. Like there's nobody out there who's showing up the ropes unless you meet with the person. Like nobody will be there to mentor you, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that happened to me the same thing, which is why I'm changing the narrative with this podcast show.
Yeah.
By try to, you know, putting these stories out there and let the people know like, oh shit, okay, now I know, you know? And try to guide them as much as possible, you know? So to answer your question, you know, when is it the right time to look for managers? I'll give you the perfect answer. You don't. They're gonna come to you straight up.
Okay.
Straight up. Don't ever look for one. Let them come to you. And then when they do come to you, look deeper into their history. Like look deeper into their social medias, who they work with, who they used to work with, why they're not working with them, and look very deeply into asking a lot of questions. Because one thing's for sure, by asking them a lot of questions is how you can tell whether this is going to be a good manager to represent me or not, you know? Because the problem that I had in my past with managers is that I know more than them. And there's nothing wrong about that. But if I know something is not going to work, fucking listen to me when I tell you it's not going to work. And don't just go above me. Like at the end of the day, the managers have to eat, right? How do they eat? Based off what we make. Managers are supposed to be, you're the boss of the manager at the end of the day. They can manage your career. That's fine. You know, they can handle the business aspect, the deals and the contracts and all that shit. That's fine. But you're their boss. You're their boss, you know? You're the one who tells them, you know, fuck off whenever you feel like it, you know? So don't let straight up, don't let any manager to tell you what you can and cannot do.
That's some really good advice, dude. Because I've asked a few artists about it that like haven't been in your position, haven't been in that position for as long as you, and like I guess I think they're talking out their ass.
No, absolutely. No, you can tell right away when they're talking to their ass. Even to this day, I get emails from people to say if they want to represent me, you know, and I look at their social medias, I look who they representing, and I tell them to fuck off, or I just ghost them because like it's not in my best interest right now. It's like there's something about me is that like, yeah, don't look at me right now when I'm popping off. You know, look at me when I'm nobody. That's when you should be looking at me. If you're gonna have a manager that believes in you 100% and is willing to go to die on that hill with you. B, if the manager is looking out for your best interests and is willing to invest his time and money and resources to build you into the vision that you're trying to look for, which leads to the third point, that you and the manager have the same vision, goal oriented to say like, you want to be one of this. All right, I can see you be like this. Let's make it happen. I can see you because I believe in you. Definitely. You're never going to look for one. They're going to come to you, you know, and they should be coming to you when you're on the lowest, when you're hardly a nobody, but you're starting to get a buzz around, you know, people are starting to talk, people are listening. It's like, hey, have you heard about this chick? She just spit some bars in this song. Or hey, you heard it? She's DJing, she's rapping, she's MCing, she's making house songs, she's making bass, she's doing collabs with these other people. When that shit start to get that little attraction, that's when they start to come to you. But always have those free points, those free major points to make sure, like, okay, once you find the manager, the person that's right for you, that you trust that's right for you, they're going to ask you for a contract. So on the contract, before anything, read the fucking contract. I cannot stress this shit out. I'm not trying to cuss you out on that. Like, no.
No. Yeah.
This is something that I tell people every fucking time, because when they hear these, not just managers, but with labels as well, they sign these contracts and they start bitching about on Twitter. I'm like, what was in the contract that's doing this? Oh, I don't know. I haven't read it. It's like, well, there you go, Sherlock. The fuck? Read it.
You can pay people to read it for you.
Oh, bro, people are afraid of me. Yeah, straight up. Read your contract. Do not sign right there from the spot. Never do that. And that's not just with managers, with agents, with labels, with anybody who gives you a contract. You tell them, all right, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna read it. I'll get back to you. That's the art of negotiation. You never negotiate with the first offer. No, you always negotiate with the second and third offer. You go back and forth with it. That's very important. You read the contract. If you do not understand the contract when you're reading it, or you don't know what it means, or there's some stuff that you do understand, but there's like, little stuff out here that you do not understand what this paragraph means, or what this clause mean, or what any of that shit, take the contract to a lawyer. Okay. Even if you have to spend money, take it to a lawyer, because you'd rather spend the money to the lawyer versus owning somebody thousands of dollars because you didn't bother reading it, you know? Ask the lawyer, tell them what it means, and tell them what this contract as a whole it means. Does it benefit me, and does it? The lawyer has the legal obligation to tell you, all right, this means this, and this. Overall, when I read this contract, the lawyer will tell you whether it's a good thing for you, or it's a bad thing, or there's a risk in it. You know, they'll tell you everything, and he'll highlight it. Yeah. And once you do, you're going to go back again to the person and tell them like, hey, I don't like these clauses. I want them to be changed. If you change them for this, and this, then I'll sign your contract.
True.
That's how you do it. And if they really believe you, and if they really want you and they want to work with you, they'll change the contract and all those clauses for you, just because they do believe you and they don't want to miss the opportunity with you, you know? And the one last thing, when it comes to percentage-wise for managers, typically it ranges from 10% to 20%. Anything above 20 tell them to go fuck off. Even if they say they're gonna guarantee you're gonna make millions of dollars in return, tell them to fuck off, because this is something I learned in school. Like, managers and booking agents have a cap. You don't go above that cap, and they know that, and they know that. But the people who don't know that, they'll try to take advantage of it as much as they can, and they'll give you all these. Trust me, they're gonna give you promises, promises like crazy. They're gonna they're gonna be like literally talking through your ear and hearing the nice things that you want to hear. But until those promises are met, you're not gonna be giving them a 25% or 30 or 50 or 45. Like, no, fuck that. So normally you start with 10%. That's like the minimum. If you want to be gracious, you can give them a 15. And the typical runtime when you're on a signed contract, I usually tell them, give me a year contract, because I want to see you working your ass off for me for that 1 year. I want to see those results. I want to see those promises that you make. 1 year, 10%, 1 year rate. If you at least do at least half of the stuff that you told me that you were gonna do or on your way, then by the end of our contract, I'll sign the contract for 3 years, for 3 more years, and I'll raise it to 15%. And let's just say in those 3 additional years, it has been marvelous that the guy did everything for you, and you're already out there and everything's, hey, like, we're reaching to the end of our partnership contract, you know? And then they'll be asking for longevity. You have a range from 5 to 7 to 10 years with that person. It's up to you. At that point, that's up to your own discretion. So when you come to that for that extension for 5 years, 7, 10, however you want it, you have the right to give them a little bit extra on the percentage and give them a good 20%. Because they treated you good and they took you to where you wanted, and now they're gonna take you to even further places. Now you're gonna have a nice long partnership with them, in which you give them a certain amount, and they'll give you exactly what they want. But just always remember, they can only eat if you eat. If you don't eat, they don't eat.
Yeah, true shit.
So
that's some good ass advice.
I try my best, I try my best to sum it up as much as possible for all the knowledge I've known. Yeah, that's basically it. Like, don't look for people, let them look for you. It's gonna come, because somebody of a friend of a friend, they're gonna hear about it from they're gonna talk about you, and they'll be like, huh, interesting. Let me see if we can work something out with that person.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't be afraid of giving them a background check and ask them multiple questions, because obviously when you ask them a lot of questions, you can tell whether this person is real or not. You can tell whether they know what they're doing or not, like depending on the answers. If they give you political answers in which is like, that is a very good question, and I'm glad you asked that question because it was a good one. Yeah, we need to address that issue because it reminded me the time in which they said that. When they give you political questions like that, which is very generic and base, like, all right, this guy's full of shit. But when they give you like actual questions, it could be shorter, it could be long, and say like, no, I do believe you. The reason why is because I see the potential and I know how to work it. You have this problem, but we can fix it. And if you trust me by fixing, always tell them straight up, don't fucking lie to me. Don't fucking be dishonest. Be real. Be blunt as much as possible. I don't need to hold any shit. This is my life. Yeah. This is my career. Like, I want to get there, so I don't want anybody to hide their emotions for me. Like, if somebody doesn't like me, just tell me right away. Tell me the fuck right away. I don't want to deal with some other bullshit because somebody doesn't like me. Like, no, if they don't like me, all right, let's go off to somewhere else. Simple as that. Yeah. Always be, just always be blunt and honest tell them to always be open and blunt to you. Like, so you can be blunt back to them. When you have that relationship that, you guys trust each other and there's that level of honesty, things will work out. Things will work out.
Absolutely. Hey, well, thank you. Holy shit.
Yeah. Absolutely. is there any other questions that you want to ask me or know about the industry in I don't know, labels, artists, reaching out emails and shit like that?
Honestly, not really. Just because like that was my like main question that I haven't really gotten a really good answer to. But like, thank you. Like that was awesome. As for like labels and stuff, I think I'm really in a good position right now.
Okay.
With all of that. And honestly, with that part of it and with the show part of it too, it's kind of just like at this point, I'm just like waiting. And I'm like I'm the most impatient person ever, if you know me.
I know.
Like personally, and it's just like that's the hardest thing for me, like this whole experience.
Yeah.
Patience. When someone is like, hey, we got you, we want your track, and I'm like, fuck yeah. And then they're like, but we're not gonna release it till December. And then it's like, bro. Yeah, and I like can't really, and like at that point I'm like super excited about it and I want to like tell everyone and I want to like post everywhere, and it's like, bro, you can't do that because it's in a fucking year. And like, there's a right time for everything. Like,
absolutely,
you don't ever want to
don't ever rush out, man. Don't ever rush out. You're in a good place. I know that it gets very impatient to some of this stuff, I absolutely understand that. I've been there, but in due time everything's gonna work out, just like everybody else. Like the press, like nostalgics have told you, you're there. You just have to keep going. Consistency is the key. Do not stop, because it's when you stop it that everything falls down. Keep doing it, because you're already there. You're almost there. You just don't stop. This has happened to homies of mine. And one of my homies, Shindo, shout out to him. He's been trying to produce for many, many, many years and get no investment in return. I'm telling you, for as long as I know him, and after 4 or 5 years of production and making music for artists and whatnot, he caught his for 7, 8 years producing music. He finally caught his break and made the Peaches song for Bieber.
Oh, yes.
Shindo.
Yeah, I have some friends that are friends with him.
Yeah,
I forgot. My old roommate was friends with him. Or she said
I don't know about that part, but okay, sure. but yeah, it only takes time. It takes time, but once you're there, you're there. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Enjoy the journey.
For sure, dude. And that's that's something like I'm also learning. I gotta like take a step back, because like I'm also the type of person, just like in general in life, where it's like, all right, complete this goal, cool, where's the next? And it's no, I need to like take a step back, take in, be like, look, like celebrate.
Absolutely.
Celebrate my steps I accomplished, and like
absolutely. And that leads up to one of my last questions is, what has been your greatest accomplishment up to now?
Good question. Probably I honestly really think so far it was definitely that Dr. Fresh stream, because he was one of the first people that like when I did get into bass house and house music. He was one of the first people I was fucking with, because I don't know if he's like honestly like the father of G house, but he's definitely a huge like character in like G house, in the way the reason why it is what it is today. And that helped the transition from me listening to a lot of rap music to like in the house too. And I was able to see him live like 2 years ago before the pandemic in Jacksonville. And then for him to just like listen to my track and him to like get the idea and concept of what I'm trying to do with that track and with myself as an artist and like say it back to me without even like me saying it. That was probably the biggest moment for me so far, just because it's like I'm doing it right. You know what I mean? There's no lost in translation. I'm like telling you, I'm showing you and telling you the message, and you're like picking up on it. So I'm doing exactly like what I want to do.
Fucking dope. Like to hear that. So right now, what are you currently doing and what do you hope to accomplish by it?
So right now, I'm honestly I'm collaborating with a lot of artists. We're pitching songs to a lot of labels. And honestly, my goal is to get on Dr. Fresh's label, House Calls, or AC Slater's Night Bass within like a year or two.
I bet it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I bet it's gonna happen very soon.
Thank you.
So keep at it. Why is it that you chose your stage name to be AK Renny?
Hey, I was waiting for this question. This is my favorite, bro. This is my favorite question ever. All right. So basically, my whole concept with like myself as a person is I'm just like, I'm like, I was able to advance this far this fast because of like my mindset of like, I don't give a fuck about what you think about me. I'm going to be myself always.
Right.
And because I know who the fuck I am. And, my favorite artist, one of my favorite artists, Kid Cudi, I look up to him a lot through his music because like it helped me through most of my childhood and everything. His music, like, this people say it all the time, like I'm one of them. Like his music saved my life and shit, helped me through a lot of dark areas of my life. And I studied his interviews, and in one of the interviews he was like talking about him as an artist and his music. He was like, always know who you are in order to progress in life. And that was a quote that just stuck with me forever. And so I pretty much took that and I'm like, all right, always knew. So AK, I just didn't put the dots, I forgot what they're called. and with it, because I was like, I don't like the way that it looks. But I just thought that was like a sick name too, to go with it. Like AK, like always knew who you are. And then Renny, my middle name's Renee, so I kind of just like got it off of that. But my whole concept is like, when I was a kid, I would listen to like, I'd put on rap music and I'd put on music and I would like sit in my room for hours, and I had a huge imagination, and I would just imagine myself being on stage with like a bunch of people and everyone just fucking with my shit. But for so long, I never took that initiative to do that. So for so long in my life, like me being an artist, like Renny as an artist, like that person was there. Like I always knew that person was there inside of me, but I had to take that initial step to bring it out. So it's like, I always knew I wanted to do this. I always knew that person, but like now I'm that person, and now I'm like being that person. I'm on stage.
Now you're you.
Yeah.
Now you're you.
And I always knew, but I just had to take that initial step.
Fucking dope story.
Hey. No, I love it, bro. I love when people ask that, because I don't know, it's what I'm about, dude. Like you gotta be yourself. You can't, people don't realize in this world that they can't be fake. Like you can't just like follow the crowd, or you're just like you're nothing, dude, if you're not yourself.
But this leads up to our final question, and we can wrap it up. You're walking down the street, and then a UFO comes out of nowhere and pops out, and they tell you, it's like, yo, AK Renny, we need your help, because you and only you can help us out. And you'll be like, all right, though, let's go, let's get it. But they say like, yo, but before you do, you don't know how long you're gonna return back. Here's a piece of paper. Write 3 pieces of advice that you give to somebody. What are those 3 pieces of advice.
Always be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Be a good person. Treat everybody the same no matter what.
Yes.
And take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Give yourself time. Be alone sometimes, because you're the most, only you can like really help like yourself in some aspects,
I agree. And especially just like you said it yourself, just be a good person, be nice, be genuine, be humble.
Be humble.
Be
humble.
Sit down. Be humble.
Be humble.
Straight on. That song, I fuck with it a lot, but it hits home and it's supposed to hit home from everyone else. Like, this is such a thing that people lose, and from time to time, they forgot about what it is to be humble with somebody or be humble for themselves,
Yeah, I see it. I see that shit all the time, bro. It's just like it. And one thing someone once told me was that like, the bigger you are, the more humble you become. And at first I was like, what the fuck? But like, it's kind of true, because like, you see people that like, it's like, oh, cool. Like, you have like this small following and they'll be like dicks. And it's like, you're still like, excuse me, like, are you Kanye West? Are you Eminem? Are you just like, no, sit the fuck down. You have a long way to go still. And it's just like, I think it's because I have that mentality of just like I'm no matter what, no matter if I have like a few like 1,000 followers, like I'm still like just me and shit. Like, I still have like a long way to go. I'm still nobody, Just keep that in mind.
Absolutely. And that's the best way to think about it. That's the best way to go about everything, man. Just be yourself, humble, and just be you. Like, even if you have a lot of people following you, just be you, just like, that's it, it doesn't, it doesn't take hard for you to be a nice person and be yourself, just, it's easy than you think, guys. So keep that in mind. Thank you so much, man, for coming over to the show. It was an honor and privilege.
It's fucking awesome.
Like, we just had a great conversation. I loved it. I can't wait to have another one with you, honestly.
Yeah, I got you.
I like, whenever you're down to do another one, you're a friend of the show, you just hit me up and say, hey, yo, I'm down to do another one. We'll be like, all right, we got it. Let's go.
Hey.
That's it. Before we leave, plug yourself out. Let the people know where they can follow you and what they can expect from you in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can follow me on my socials at AK Renny Music. And for the future, I actually have a release coming on Yosh. It's going to be a UK release. It's going to be May 2nd. And it's for a track named Freaky, a collab with Share and Devour. And I'm super excited about it. Dr. Fresh played it in his mix, and actually it won second runner-up for the most creative track submitted to him on his stream. So super hyped about this collab release. And
that's what's up. Well, I can't wait until it comes out. I'm gonna keep that in mind so I can definitely listen to it and replay it all the time. AK Renny, thank you so much for coming to the show, And
yeah, absolutely.
And thank you guys for listening. And remember, every week is a brand new episode with a brand new topic. So always remember to like and subscribe and turn the bell for notifications at youtube.com/The Lone Wolv Podcast, or of course, the lonewolfpod.com. That's Lone WOLV pod.com. Also, you can follow the audio version at SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts as well, where you can check all my latest episodes. And comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts. Share your experience. If you guys got a specific topic you guys want me to cover, you want Renny to cover, please let us know on the comments down below, and we'll do our best to talk about it on the next episode. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.